They said, you have to come in India to see the place where this work is going to be. When I landed in Delhi and I come off the gate, there was 20 people with flower to wait me. And it was 2 o'clock in the night, and I was very impressed. Just like that, I knew that I was inside a competition.
Hi, this is Sarah with another episode of Materially Speaking, where artists and artisans tell their stories through the materials they choose. Today, Mike Axon and I are hearing the story behind the creation of a modern-day Indian saint, Pramashwar the Infinite. From the esteemed artisan Nicola Stagetti of Stagetti Studios in Pietrasanta, and Robin Sethi, the project coordinator from India. Nicola spoke to us in his studios where historic busts line the shelves and the familiar roar of his robot emanates from the next room. Robin met us in the gardens of the convent of San Francesco, which dates back to the 16th century and was once dedicated to prayer and meditation, but now offers community courses, conferences and internships, all in the area of the arts.
I'm Robin Sethi, I'm from India. And I'm the coordinator of this project, Pramashwar the Infinite. And of course, the project is about the colossal sculpture of the saint, which is in the making for past 3 years. Name of our saint is Yogi Raj Sarkar Godri Wale. So Yogi Raj in itself means master of meditation. Who's a master of yoga. This project started back in 2018 because we are making a huge temple in India. And this saint, by the way, he lived 100 years ago.
One day in the morning, I had a phone call. I heard through the phone a strange accent. I understand a little bit that they need someone to make a portrait of this person.
We only forwarded him one photograph, and he studied a kind of the biography of the saint to understand the stature of him and to see the belief of the people all around.
I was able to put myself inside. You don't see not too much from the picture.
And there was another challenge, mind you. Nicola Stagetti was asked to sculpt 10 years younger what he sees in the photograph. And after a work of, say, about 6 months,
they said, you have to come in India to see the place where this work is going to be. When I landed in Delhi and I come off the gate, there was 20 people with flower to wait me. And it was 2 o'clock in the night, and I was very impressed. Just like that, I knew that I was inside a competition. So I won, at the end I won this challenge. But I didn't know.
For us, no one was anywhere near to the real face of the saint which we were expecting. He himself wasn't satisfied. When he gave us the perfect result with the face, he said, no, wait. Before you give this project to me, I would like to do the full model in clay.
I put my portrait on top and I start building the body under.
One thing was clear, if the sculpture has to be done, it has to be done from Italy, and that too in Pietrasanta.
When I finish the model in clay, they of course come here. And they met the mayor, so they explain the people in Pietrasanta about the temple, they explain about Pramashwar.
The big, huge temple is in construction in Hathras, in a place named Hathras, which is about 50 kilometers away from Taj Mahal, famous Agra.
It's amazing. It's an amazing place. It's 73 acres of land. And this work, this statue, goes in the middle.
What we thought of for the grandson of the saint, when anyone enters the holy shrine, he should start to feel the positivity around, right? So there'll be a huge landscape around, and there'll be a huge structure, something like what you see in Paris, the big gate kind of a thing, so that the moment anyone enters it, he starts to feel something different, something close to the nature. so that the person starts to feel some connect with the divine the moment he enters it. Because, see, we often say God is immanent in all the beings, right? I mean, even if in a leaf or even any living thing has its presence, it just depends upon you, like how you feel it or how you channelize your energy. So, even before anyone enters the sanctorium, he should have that feel.
So little by little come a huge things I didn't expect it before. They all tell us that they are going to build a building entitled Pietrasanta. So Pietrasanta have a gallery in this temple.
Because back in 2019, when the city administration of Pietrasanta came to know about this clay model and this big project that Nicola Stagetti is doing, then they held a big presentation for the clay model. And that was a time our chief trustee, he declared that he would like, because he had seen the immense love which we were getting from the city. But then as a tribute to the city, just we want to make sure this artwork, this Italian artwork goes around the world.
So you can imagine a space where a million people go. So a million people are able to see Pietrasanta Gallery.
When we were on a hunt for a marble, Carrara from the Michelangelo quarry is considered to be the best for human sculptures. People often ask us, oh, fine, you're visiting Carrara. It's a big quarry place. You can find the marble anywhere. But then they don't understand there's a difference between getting one for human sculptures and or for the architecture purpose, right?
Because in the same mountain, in the same place, there is a different color of marble. The statuario is the most pure and warm color. It's not white, it goes a little bit on yellow, like ivory. And that part is most used in the sculpture.
He was on a constant visit to the Michelangelo quarry for around 6 months for the marble block.
I knew that in that part of the mountain comes special material. So I went there and I asked for this dimension. And they start cutting the mountain, but when the marble come down, it's broken. Anytime it's broken. And then I wait the other cut. And then comes a block that said, yes, it's good, but it's not what I want. I want more secure, because there was a crack, one part cracking. So I go back.
And finally he found it.
And it's really huge. 34 ton of material. Also, the truck is who take this block was is a unique piece. So I start give the first cut at the block to understand what was inside, but it comes good. And the chief trust come from India. I look the block, he mark on top, I sign under. So I say that is good, and we start.
Artist had finished the clay model in 2019, but then the clay model, it was scanned, put on the computer system, and then robotic machine carved the 30% part of it.
The robot is good for the heavy work. Then the artisan, with a technical system, take a measurement on the model and bring this measurement in the marble.
What is the most difficult thing about this job, the biggest challenge that you had to overcome?
Okay, it's a huge job, but if you take step by step, day by day, and resolve the problem day by day, there is not a difficult part.
In any holy sculpture, the radiating aura, I mean, you need to capture that. And even the garb which the saint could be seen wearing, that was Indian regal garb, which was new to him. In this case, the saint can be seen more leaning towards the right. And of course, over that, he's wearing the Indian garment, wherein the artist has also to imagine the difference in the muscles, because if the muscles are stiff on one side, it will leave a different kind of an impression on the garment. And if the muscles are relaxed on one side, then likewise he has to think on that. And the saint can be seen clasping his fingers. So the kind of a vein structures and all Nicola has worked upon, these are some of the challenges which he has to face and which is taking time. It's not like, okay, fine, the project could have been completed in 1 year and unnecessarily he's taking time on that. That's make it, to me, a magnum opus, or you may call it as a masterpiece of contemporary times or the epoch making of this era.
When I come here in the morning, I start working. I take my hammer and I start working, at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I see what I'm doing. There is a special moment that you are able to give the 100% of your capacity, one moment. And there is another little moment that you are very warm. In that moment, you give the more than 100% of your capacity.
When it comes to the big project, often they're doing the replicas. You put the design on computer and then on the robotic machines, and the conventional techniques they are not allowed to explore. If we do not support the artists, all of us together, then we might lose this art because they are not given the enough freedom.
And how will it be to say goodbye when you're finished?
Yeah. So we're going to have this ceremony here in Pietrasanta. We invite lots of people, maximum here, make a big party. And then I put this piece in the container, put it in the navy, in the boat, and I follow for the installation. The installation is not easy. It's very difficult because this is 8 tons. I have to rise, I'm thinking, 12 meters on top of the building. And then I have to push inside for 100 meters by hand, like the Egyptian, And then when I'm inside of the temple, I have to rise again on top of the pedestal. So this part of the work is not easy. And we have to make more attention because the marble is finished.
People often question us, like they have different opinions on the idol worship. And our answer to that is, it's a source of inspiration. It's a source of meditation. If you have to focus your mind and channelize your energy, what are you going to do it or how are you going to do it? You need some focus. Fine. It could be anything. Generally, when we close our eyes, we often imagine we are facing towards some kind of a flame, some kind of a light. So in our case, that inspiration comes from our saint.
For this guy is the God, let's say. And the passion is very great. Also, if you show your passion, other people are able to recognize that. When you believe in something, and when lots of people have the same believing, you can move the mountain.
So thanks to Nicola Stagetti and to Robin Sethi. We're delighted that Gail Scoff took some amazing photographs for this episode, which you can see on our website, materiallyspeaking.com, and on Instagram. You can check out Gail's work on her website, gailscoff.com, and of course on Instagram at ScoffUpClose. To learn more about Stagetti Studios, go to studiostagetti.com, and on Pramashwar the Infinite, visit ysgt.org, the website for the Yogiraj Sarkar Godarawali Trust. And thanks to you for listening. If you're enjoying Materially Speaking, subscribe to our newsletter on our website so we can let you know when the next episode goes live.
Wow.